Hello and welcome. We are looking now at Lydende Vorm, Lydende and Bedrywende Vorm, and that's known as active and passive voice in English. It's that sort of thing where you get a sentence like James writes a letter, and then you change it around and you say a letter is written by James. So essentially what you're doing is you are not starting the sentence with the subject, you're starting the sentence with the object, and that sort of changes the game a bit in Afrikaans. Remember when you did Stompie in probably grade 6 or whatever the case might be, you had a verb there and a verb there. They taught you that you start a sentence with a subject, you can start a sentence with time. Then they said you can start a sentence with manner, start a sentence with place. You can even start a sentence with infinitive, as long as your verb there is second. They didn't say anything about starting the sentence with an object, because it's just a different ball game. Okay, this is the section we're dealing with now. If you start a sentence with an object, it goes into the Lydende Vorm, it goes into the passive voice. Okay. And there's a trick for doing this, and I must say the students who actually just spend some time on this and just sort it out, they hardly get this wrong anymore. Remember that in the books there's Lydende Vorm even in the primary school books, because believe it or not, some government schools or whatever, they do a bit of Lydende Vorm in the primary school, just to get them ready for grade 8, which is fine. It's up to the school, you know. But in the books you'll find the rules, the practice, and everything is in there. So this is just a short video just to maybe watch as an intro. So this is what happens in Afrikaans. Okay, the sentence, the rules you use it's going to depend on what tense your sentence is in. Okay, Lydende Vorm works in present, past, and future tense. Okay, and for present tense you're going to use the words word deur. For past tense you're going to use is deur, and for future tense you're going to use sal deur, and as well as word. Okay, interesting that in all three the tenses you get a g on your verb. You're used to doing that just for past tense. For Lydende Vorm there's a g on in all the tenses. That is confusing. We'll chat about that a bit more later. And there's a few other things that are sort of a bit confusing. Okay, but we'll get there. Let's just take it step by step. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's do something here. So in the present tense, that's just a basic sentence. Die vrou koop vrugte. The woman is buying fruit. Fruit is the object. Now you want to start with fruit. Okay, so they say start with vrugte. Word deur die vrou gekoop. That's different, hey? That's a bit weird. Okay, word deur. So for present tense you use word deur, and you see you put a g on your verb. Okay, verb sits there at the end now, that verb 1. Okay, don't stress about it too much. I'm going to show you an easy way just to get this right every time. Past tense, pa het tennis gespeel. Dad played tennis. Tennis is deur pa gespeel. Okay, so is deur for past tense. G on your verb. There's a g there anyway, doesn't matter. And then let's move that down for now. Oupa sal die muisvoël skiet. Die muisvoël, copy, paste, die meis voel sal deur oupa geskiet word. Okay? So in future tense you use sal deur and then word and ge. Okay? So that's very different, very confusing perhaps, but if you look at this now, the other thing is that these sentences are quite short. There's no time, there's no manner, there's no place, there's no infinitive in these sentences. Okay. Peter drink. Okay, so if you look at this, here are, and this is my advice, this is my tip on how to make this a bit easier. Okay. If you look at these three formulas, the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense formulas, this is what they look like. Okay, now these formulas, if you follow them exactly, you're not going to get this wrong. You're not going to make a mistake with this. Okay, there's your object, your word, your ge, and your verb. If you had a time and manner, it would go in there. If you had a subject and a place, it'll go in there. And if you had an infinitive, it will go there. Okay, past tense you use is deur, and then future tense, or for any of the helping verbs, they would go in there. Okay, time, manner, subject, place, ge, verb, infinitive. We must just not forget to have the word over here. Okay, that's also in that formula. Alright, so let's look at 3 examples here and just apply this formula. Pieter drink elke middag Coke in die kombuis om sy dors te les. Peter drinks Coke in the kitchen every afternoon to quench his thirst. Okay, so Peter, that is the subject. Okay, drink, verb, elke middag is time, Coke is the object, in die kombuis will be place, om sy dors te les is the infinitive. Okay, now they'll start you with the object. That's how you'll know that we are dealing with Lydende Vorm. If they start you with the object. Okay, then you check, okay, which tense is the sentence in? This sentence is in the present tense. So you're going to use this formula. You're going to use the first formula for the present tense. Okay? So, follow your formula exactly. You've had the O in there. What's next? Word. What's next? Time. T for time. Elke middag. Manner. There's no manner, so you go on. Deur. Subject is Peter, of course, with a capital P. Place, in die kombuis, where is he drinking it? He's drinking it in the kitchen. Ge plus your verb. There's drink, put a ge on it. Om sy dors te les. Okay, that's the infinitive. So that will be the answer. If you follow the formula exactly, you can't go wrong. Let's just do the same sentence, but in the past tense. Okay, so here we use the past tense formula. Just go up a little bit. Use the past tense formula. Coke is. Now you use is deur. Elke middag deur Peter in die kombuis gedrink om sy dors te les. Okay, so if they give you the sentence in past tense, you must use the past tense formula. Okay, the third one is obviously now in the future tense, just to round it off, just to get it done, just show you how that works. Don't forget the little word there in that future tense formula. Okay, also if this was kan, you would use the future tense formula. Interesting also, if this was, even if this was kon, you would still use this formula. Okay, even though that sentence is in the past tense, you do not use the past tense formula when your helping verb is in the past tense form. That is confusing. That is very confusing. Do not use, so if you have a helping verb, whatever form it's in, use the future tense or the helping or the third formula. Think of it as the third formula. Okay, because even if you have so or vo, you just use that one in the formula over there. Okay, let's just keep it as sol for now. So they start you with the object Coke. Look at what tense your sentence is. Okay, they're using sol, they're using a helping verb, so I must use the third formula. Coke sol, elke middag deur Pieter in die kombuis gedrink word. Don't forget the word. Follow your formula down exactly. Om sy dors te les is the infinitive. That's how Lydende Vorm works. So you have to find a way to commit these formulas here to memory. Okay. I always encourage my students to at the start of your test or exam or whatever, jot them down quickly. Put them down before you even start, because you know you're going to get Lydende Vorm. It's going to be in there with all the other grammar rules. But if you've got your formula down and you follow it exactly, you can't go wrong. Just a few things to watch out for now. Okay. The first thing, as we've said, is don't be confused now that all three formulas require you to put a ch on your verb. That is weird because you're only used to doing that in past tense. But even in the present tense and the future tense now, you have to put a ch on the verb. Okay? So don't go back to your answer and say, oh, this is future tense, I don't need a ch, and take it off. Okay? The second thing I just wanted to point out is that in the past tense formula, you use is, not was. That's also a bit different. Okay? You used to, don't go back to your answer and say, oh, this is past tense, why do I have an is here? It doesn't matter, that's what the formula says. Also, in that past tense formula, there's no het. There's no het there. Do you see a het? So in our past tense example there, that question there, okay, can you see there's a het? But in the answer, there's no het. It's gone. It's not in the formula. It goes away for some reason. Don't ask me why. Okay, that's the third thing you need to look out for. Fourth thing is, like we discussed, the helping verb formula. These things can be in the past tense form. They can be kon, they can be so, they can be now I've gone blank. The past tense form of all the helping verbs. Okay, and then don't forget the word. It's a common mistake that you jot down the formula and you forget the word. Yeah, find a rhyme or something that you can say just to remember these formulas. And I promise you, if you follow these formulas, you'll get the marks for Lydende Vorm. Okay, it's a weird construction in Afrikaans. It is tricky, it is difficult, but once you know how to start, once they start you with the object and you've got your formula down, you'll be fine. You'll definitely be fine. Again, lots of practice, all the rules, all the exceptions, or not exceptions, but little tricks and so on are in the books. If you want the book, there's the contact information is over here. Just send an email there, or just send a WhatsApp message there, and we'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Getting a lot of positive feedback about the books, so that's very nice for us as well. Okay, so that was Lydende Vorm. I hope that helps, and we'll sign off there. And I think this will be the last video for the day. It's getting a bit late. It's after Whoa, it's very late already. Okay, we'll see you soon. Yeah, bye.